Okay, we are live. Hmm. Hey, so I wanted to jump on here and talk to you about solo travel and give you a chance to ask questions. I haven't done a solo travel update in a while, and I wanted to tell you about how to get started if you want to come on my Paris and Champagne retreat next year in October 2026. Um, Come on over. Let's see, we can do chat. So, so if you want to ask questions, please let me know. This is about solo travel. So if you want to get started traveling the world and you're age 50 plus, let me know because I can help you do this on a, a budget that isn't like living in California and working. So you can actually do better doing slow travel and not paying the high prices in the United States. Now, the thing about it is you have access to higher paying work here sometimes, and if you do, then it might make sense. But as a person who's had my own business for 40 years, and my income, with that comes fluctuating income, which is fine because I know how to work with it and anticipate different seasons. And I have a lot of free time because in the times that I expect that I'm going to be making less income, I can travel at those times. So, can you guys hear me? Solo travelers, come on over here. So, I just wanted to talk to you about how you can get started on a somewhat small budget. Because if you go to Asia, I solo traveled slowly in Asia for 18 months and did not go back to the USA and wasn't sure when I would go back or if. When I left in 2009 after selling 95% of my belongings, I was not sure when I would be visiting the United States again. My son was living in Nepal, so traveling in Asia actually meant more access to seeing him. So, it just depends on your life situation. You can go and travel on one continent, travel in one country. The less you move around, the lower the cost. So that's when you can get more of a local price for accommodation. So when I was in Cambodia, I've been to Cambodia twice, and I highly recommend it for solo travelers. It's in my top 5 countries out of 34 countries because price is low, infrastructure pretty good, has a lot of appeal because of Angkor Wat, Phnom Penh, many different cities, little towns, Kampot, Kep. I stayed in Otris Beach for an entire month, and then previously I'd stayed there 2 weeks. Now that could have gotten really developed. It used to be an unknown beach, and then it started to become discovered by gamblers and casinos going up. So I can't really say I could. This was in 2017, so 8 years, things can change a lot. But you can always get on your motorbike and discover some places that a lot of people don't know about. That's always true, even in Italy, even in France, Spain. You just have to get away from the crowds, and then you'll find what you're looking for. Less people, more local of an experience. So I'm going to sign off now, but I just wanted to come on because I wanted to offer you some. Oh, I got 2 people here, but I don't see you. Hi, Pixie Wizard. Thanks for coming over. Okay, so I got some people. Do you have any questions about starting solo travel? Because what I'm finding is a lot of people want to get out of the United States. I'm in California right now and planning my next big 3-month trip of slow travel, although there is going to be quite a bit of exploring involved in it and going to some new places too, but also mostly going back to old places that I love in both France and Italy. And the wonderful thing is, the more you return to a place and make friends and connections, the more you feel like you have a home base there. And prices, of course, prices are a concern anywhere. But, you know, as somebody who used to take only luxury trips and spend $1,000 a day, and this was in the 1990s, I can assure you, hey, come and say hi. I see there's 8 people here and I'd love to talk to you more. I'm coming on live because I wanted to give people advice about getting started with solo travel, inviting you to my retreats coming up, including accommodation. So there is one spot open on my Seductive Syracuse, Sicily retreat. You would be the 4th person. So I keep my groups very small, less than 6 people or less, because you get hands-on, one-on-one premium attention with your experience with photography and the retreat of discovering this beautiful UNESCO World Heritage Site, Syracuse, Sicily. I've already been there many times, so I've curated the experiences so you'll have an absolutely stellar time and learn and come home with amazing pictures, because I'm an award-winning photographer with my own business in Silicon Valley for 40 years and have traveled all over the world full-time for 20 years. So if there's something you need to know about getting started, don't be scared to begin, because everybody's a little apprehensive in the beginning because you've never done it. It's a new experience. But say if you're budget challenged, go to Asia. You get more bang for your buck in Cambodia, Laos, Malaysia, not Singapore. Indonesia. Now, I've explored Bali, haven't been for a while. Prices were starting to rise there, though. So I'd recommend India, Nepal, Thailand, Cambodia, and Laos. You can go to Myanmar, but I wouldn't right now. Politically, it's not. I'm glad I got to be there for a month in 2010, or was it 2013? Because now some things are going on that I wouldn't want to be in the country. You have to be careful where you choose, but the ones that I mentioned to you, I've traveled in solo without anybody else. And see, you know, here's one thing you don't hear about a lot. People over 50 that are more approaching elder status are treated with more respect in other countries than here in the United States. It's just flat out true. And when I get back from Italy after being treated so nicely by everybody in that country and get back to California, I'm surprised not everybody loves me here. But hey, now what I've learned, talk to the hand, just walk away. I'm not going to get in arguments. It takes too much. Find someone else to talk to. Or just ignore people that are being rude. And I wouldn't say it's just in California. There's a lot of nice people here. But I just find that in the United States, people are under stress, and financial stress, mental stress. We don't have the fallbacks and the safety nets that Europe does. So that's why, hi Avery, thanks for coming over. I'm glad you're here. Hey, I wanted to jump on because I'm talking about how you can start solo travel. And here's a big myth about it. People think solo travel is more expensive. No, I have actually spent more money when I travel with other people, because you're oftentimes accommodating what they want to do. Say they want to go to an expensive restaurant. I rarely go to super expensive restaurants like a lot of people want to do. But if I'm going to go out, I generally choose a more local kind of restaurant, not one that is supposed to appeal to tourists, because you're going to get better prices, better customer service, and a more local experience. So all you have to do is, okay, so for example, this time around I'm going to go to Venice for 6 days. I've never been to Venice, but I have been to Italy 8 times. Grandfather died at Auschwitz. Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, was he working at Auschwitz and fell off the guard tower? Well, anyway, keeping on our topic, I'm sorry your grandfather died. But you know, here's another idea about solo travel, and this is how I started going to Sicily. The reason I love Sicily and how I started was because I went to find where my grandfather was born, and then I fell in love with Sicily. So check it out. And I'm sorry, Yosef, that your grandpa died in a car accident. But you know, we have limited time in this world. It isn't just a silly small thing. Like sometimes people go, oh, I don't have time to travel or the money. It's like in kind of putting it down like it's some frivolous activity. It can actually be a way you can live better. This is why I'm encouraging it, because when I used to take those luxury trips, spending $1,000 a day in the 1990s, it was fun, but it was short-lived. You'd have to come back after 2 or 3 weeks and get back to work and spend all that money, when you could actually spend all that money and less now and have a much richer experience doing volunteer projects that you set up along the way. You don't even have to do it ahead of time. And go to countries where those countries will accommodate your budget just because that's what it costs to live there. Like when I lived in Chiang Mai, I paid less than $250 for a modern air-conditioned studio in a good location, safe, with Wi-Fi. I'm not an Arabic person. My heritage is Sicilian and Polish. So each grandfather was born Poland and Sicily. So that's why I went to Sicily, and I fell in love with that island, and that's why I keep going back. And it all had to do with my grandfather. So if you have questions about travel and changing your life, I'd like to hear it, because this is how I can help you get started with a whole different experience. Oh, good. I'm glad you subscribed. Oh, and I wanted to tell you about subscribing over on my Substack, because that's going to give you a lot of places to go, ways to do it. And then, of course, if you're serious about travel, you should be a paid subscriber. You can try it out for a month if you like. It's only $15 to try it out, or just go whole hog and do the $55 for the whole year. And what you do is you get videos that I don't share with everyone. It's just for the paid subscribers. And oh, thank you, Yosef. I'm glad that you're here, because I want to help as many people as possible realize that there's another way to live, and it doesn't take more money than you're paying for where you live now. Now, this is coming from somebody who lives in the United States and pays very high prices. So as soon as I go to a country where I can pay less, my money will go farther. That, of course, isn't the only reason, but this is about living well. You're a nice, caring grandma. I'm not a grandmother yet. But if you want to see me that way, that's fine. I have no grandchildren. I do have a son. He's 39 years old, and he has been the person who got me started traveling all over the world, past these luxury trips I used to take when I was working 12-hour days in my photography business in Silicon Valley. So here's the thing. I am older. I have experienced a lot. I've traveled to 34 countries. I've done a lot of gritty things. After all those luxury trips, I found out how to really travel. I went backpacking in South America for 6 months myself over land with my backpack, just taking buses, no trains, and went all through that continent by myself. Now, I was warned not to go. I turned 50 years old in Brazil, and I will never forget being at Iguazu Falls and turning 50. That was a milestone for me because I realized I wanted to do full-time travel, and I was going to make it happen, and I did. I came back and did a photography exhibition on my pictures from the South America trip and sold quite a few, and then decided that I want to be traveling full-time. And if you're not flying, sometimes it's a lot less expensive to go by land in a bus or a train. It takes longer, but you have a different experience because all those borders I crossed in South America, Ecuador to Colombia, Colombia back to Ecuador, Ecuador to Peru, Peru to Bolivia, Bolivia to Argentina, Argentina to Brazil. Every single one of those borders I can remember, because when you walk into a country, it's completely different than flying in and going through the whole modern airport experience. So I know there's weird stuff going on with borders now, but it seems like it's only the United States, but I don't know where everybody is coming from. But I would say that usually when you cross by land, it's a totally different experience. Well, if you want to change and travel more, I would say to keep the costs down and have a more slower immersion experience, take the bus, take the train. So if you guys don't have any more questions, I think I'm going to sign off. I got to get back to work, and I'm thankful that you guys came over, and I hope I see you next time. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Come on over to my Substack. I don't know any Arabic, so I can't try. Come on over to my Substack. You're going to get a lot of free advice, and then if you want to be a paid subscriber, that's great. Also, I'm offering these photography retreats with accommodation in Italy and France. I'll put the link below. Actually, maybe I'll just put it in right now, and you can take a look at that. You can't try talking in a language if you don't know it. You have to learn some words. I highly recommend learning some words of any country that you're going to be going to where it's a different language, because you'll have a better experience. So for Arabic countries, I've only been through them by airports. So since I was just traveling through, I didn't learn anything. But if I'm going to stay in a country, I'll learn some of the language. But if I'm just traveling through, I don't. Why do I need to know? Because I'm not going to be using it at all. But if you're going to be in a country, you got to learn 20 to 50 words just so you can do a little bit of conversations with people. So I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for coming over. I really appreciate it. Come check me out on Substack. Subscribe. It's all free. If you want to get serious, you could do the paid one and keep me going here, and that's why I like to share what I know. So I'll see you in the next video.